Prepare for Nerdgasm.
Hey, what's up, Nerdgasm fans? Getting ready to do another video on the Fanatec Clubsport V2 pedals, which I have in a box sitting right over here. But first, I'd show you the simulator. You guys have already seen my video, no doubt, on how to do the Sparko wheel upgrade. Down below, you can see I have the T500RS stock pedals, and then over here, I got the, I think it's the TH8 shifter in bump mode, so it's like sequential. So, you can see the old pedals. I just wanted to see what they look like. They're potentiometer based, and they have linear resistance. So these guys over here, however, are way more like real pedals. And let's unbox it and I'll show you the difference. Alright, let's go ahead and open this guy up. First thing I noticed, the box is pretty heavy. The pedals feel every bit as heavy as the Thrustmaster pedals, so my guess is they're mostly metal. Pretty nice standard box. You can see the picture here. I really like the billet look of these pedals. Another reason why I wanted to get them. Now, the T500RS, you can mount the pedals in Formula 1 or standard, where they're flipped over like a normal car. These, you have to buy an extra accessory to convert these two pedals to that form. But to be honest with you, I've tried it in both orientations on the simulator, and it feels very, very similar to me. So I just don't really see any need to mess with it. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. It's the magic box. Alright, so first thing I noticed, let's see, English, please download the latest drivers for your system from Fanatec.com. Alright, well that's nice to know. See, nobody includes CDs anymore. Everybody's just assumed to have internet access, but I guess it'd be pretty silly if I had all this and I didn't have internet access. Alright, let's flip it over and pour it out. Oh wow. Go ahead and set the box to the side here. Well, the first thing I obviously noticed is the pedals came in a bag. I don't think I've ever bought a simulator part that came in a nice bag, so they obviously want to keep them nice. Let's go ahead and take the foam pieces off. A little bit of cardboard packaging. Looks like we got some cables in there. Alright, there we go. Let's see what we got. Well, we got a bottle of silicone oil, number 800, 35 milliliters. This is no doubt for the shock absorber that's on these pedals. I noticed there's a little oil on the bag, so I think it might have leaked a little bit. Looks like I've got some screws, probably for mounting it to the simulator. And I got a cable. It looks like an old PS2 style cable. And of course a USB cable that's just type A to type B, old school. Alright, let's go ahead and take these out of the bag. Oh wow, there's another bottle of oil I found on the backside. This is number 1200. So they probably give you the two different oils so you can do two different types of resistance. The one thing I'm a little worried about, I'm going to have to let them know, is they're leaking. I opened this up, this bottle is just covered in oil. Both of them are, to be honest. Yeah, I find that a little bizarre. So that's one slight ding against them. Doesn't look like any of the oil actually got on the bag, so it looks like it was just on. I don't think they're leaking. I think it was just oil that was on the packaging. Okay, let's untie this and get into it. I should also note the pedals alone were $250 on Fanatec's website. So they're not cheap. Let's go ahead and pull these out. Wow. Okay, I can tell you right now, that is beefy. That is really beefy. Oh wow, okay. I haven't even used them yet and I can already tell they're just a cut above. So, first thing I noticed, picking it up, is everything on it looks like it was cut from billet aluminum or steel. The unit's actually very, very heavy. I'm going to say it's probably heavier than the Thrustmasters. The build quality on it's absolutely phenomenal. I had no idea that it was going to be this nice, to be honest with you guys. I'll have to see how to mount it. It doesn't look like there's a clear, there's 4 holes here, And it did come with screws, but it didn't come with any bolts to back the screws. So I'll have to figure out how to mount it to the simulator. But if you look on the back here, the brake has a shock absorber on it. And I believe that's where you fill with the oil. And the first thing I noticed is it definitely feels like a real car. Like when you push the pedal, it pushes a little bit. You can actually even hear it like releasing, but you push it and then it's the weight of your foot or the muscle pushing on it that does the actual braking, just like a real car. And I think that's awesome. And it even has an adjustment here for the load cell sensor, so you can adjust the sensitivity depending on what kind of car you're driving in game. That was one of the reasons I really wanted to get these pedals. So the brake feels absolutely realistic, like a real car brake. The other thing is the clutch feels, if you look, the clutch has double action here. Hopefully you guys can see this. You can see it bumps and then it frees, just like a real car. When you start to push the clutch, it's really hard and then it gives at the end. You get a give. This actually gives you that sensation. So now with your feet, it feels like an absolutely real clutch. And every one of these pedals you can adjust the tension on. Even the gas pedal feels really, really good. I know this is silly, but and the size of the pedals is really good too. It also looks like the pedals are completely adjustable. You can see all the other holes here, so you can move these up higher if you want them further away from your feet or you want them down closer to your feet. Yeah, these look fully adjustable. Wow, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's pretty badass. They didn't give me any instructions with the 2 bottles of oil that I can see on here, so I'm guessing I need to go to the support site to figure out how to put it in there. So, I mean, it's not incredibly obvious what to do. I'm sure you have to take the shock out and take it apart and pour the oil in it somehow, but it is a very, very realistic feeling. Alright, well let me get these old T500s off the simulator, and then we can go ahead and bolt these on and give them a try. Alright guys, here's a side-by-side comparison. I took them off. So here's the Thrustmaster pedals, right now set up in their normal orientation. I should note that they do come with this. I didn't have it attached, but a little diamond plate. You can see overall these pedals are a lot bigger in dimensions than the Clubsport pedals. The pedal positions, however, are very similar, the height and everything. So I'm very happy with these. I think they're going to feel very, very similar to this. I like that the gas pedal is a little more Porsche-like versus this gas pedal on here. The first thing I noticed is these pedals, they move so much smoother. There's no catchiness to it at all, and the spring feels just really, really good. These, not so much. The resistance just doesn't feel realistic. For a gas pedal, this feels absolutely realistic, like it's connected to a cable. This just doesn't. Still good. Don't get me wrong. These were actually great pedals when I used them, but I just wanted something a little more realistic. The brake. I have a mod on here that it comes with that puts a foam pad and a spring behind it. So it has a similar feel to that. Nowhere near as realistic, but it feels really spongy and very springy. And the other thing is because it doesn't use a load cell, it still measures the brake by how far you actually push the pedal. So you still have to move the pedal through its entire range to get 100% braking. And then the clutch feels exactly the same as the gas. There's the same mechanism in both of them. There's no differentiation. As a matter of fact, they rely on that so that you can quickly change between pedal positions like this and then get it more like a regular car. And then the gas, you just move this pedal over here, and that's how they tell you to do it in their instructions. But it's such a pain in the ass to transform it that you're pretty much going to set it up one way and just leave it that way, to be honest. Now these guys over here, on the other hand, if you look, the brake, you push it and then it stops. And then there's just a little itty bit of motion. That little bit of motion is all load cell. So at that point, it's all about the muscle in your foot that's controlling the braking. So you get a lot more precise brake with this. And then the clutch, you get that switch point where it basically lets go, just like a real car. So you know your optimal clutch point. So you know just how much clutch you need to give it. You don't have to give it 100% like on this one just to be sure. This one, you can actually find that sweet spot with your foot. And it looks like it's highly adjustable. All these pedals look like they have independent adjustment. So I'm sure you can do a lot with them. So that's pretty much the comparison of them side by side. I can tell you right now, you can just tap on it. This is all hollow sheet metal around, other sheet metal fabrication. definitely cheap by comparison. I shouldn't say like compared to the pedals that come with like the Logitechs. These are phenomenal. And this is all solid. All this is billet. Every little piece on it is billet. And yeah, honestly, it's just sexy. I really like this. So I'm excited for the upgrade. I really am. So let me go ahead and get it connected up to the simulator, and we can give it a try. I should probably mention that the Clubsport pedals didn't come with any mounting hardware. I found that a little bizarre since they're such a nice pedal, you'd want to mount them on a simulator. So I'm digging into my leftover car parts bins to see if I can find some mounting hardware and get this thing figured out for you guys. It's a good thing I keep a lot of spare parts around, because you can see there's 4 completely different bolts and nuts attaching this thing. And you definitely want to attach it from all points, because with the other pedals I just had the front bolts attached and not the rears, and it was pretty stable. With this one, if you don't have bolts in all 4 corners, it can tweak and flims about a little bit. If that's even a word. Alright, let's flip it over and check it out. Alright, we got the pedals mounted, as you can see. Rock solid, well seated. I love the clutch. The clutch feels just like a real car clutch. And the brake feels completely different. It feels hydraulic, like it should. Feels like you can just stab it too. All these pedals feel really sturdy, like you can just mash on them. I'm loving it. They're mounted completely solid. Mash on them all you want. Very durable. I love how they feel. I also like that the pedal goes all the way down to the bottom. The Thrustmaster didn't, so when you're doing like heel toe, now your heel, you don't have to catch it up really high. You can catch it really low and just tilt it with the side of your foot. It's nice. They're very, very comfortable. I love them. Alright, let's plug them in. Alright, just found my first major gripe with these things. And the reason why I consider it major is the place where you plug in these cables, the USB and the 5-pin DIN PS2 connector, are under this plate. They're not on the back, they're not accessible, they're under it. So, if you hard mounted it like I just did, like an idiot, you realize you can't plug them in. You can't reach under the bar right here, you can't feel around, you can't get to the box. So in a nutshell, that sucks. So I have to actually remove this plate, because I'm not going to take these off. It took a lot of effort to get these on. I have to actually remove this plate so that I can get underneath it and plug these in. Hopefully then I'll be able to reach them, because if I can't, I'm going to be pissed if I have to take this thing apart, because they're so heavy. It was a pain in the ass to mount this, and I don't want to do it again. Don't get me wrong, I will if I have to, but I'd like to avoid it. Alright, there we go. See, so now they're accessible. The chances of you being able to get in there and try to finagle around to connect them are next to none. So, we'll come in the back, under here, plug in the first cable. Some people might actually like this design, but me, I'm going to say it's a ding against them. They should have made those ports accessible from the backside. Alright, so here we go. Plug those in. Okay, cool. I guess that wasn't too much of a pain in the ass. That was a little bit easier than I was expecting. Just pull out a couple of these little Allen screws. Alright, so maybe that was crying over spilt milk. That was a little easier than I was expecting. But still, you'd have to find the Allen screw. Make sure you have the hex key. Because if you don't, you'll be going to the hardware store and you're not going to be too happy. Luckily, I got just about every tool known to man somewhere in my garage. I just don't like looking for it. Alright, so now I've got this PS2 connector hooked up. Now I'm not actually using it because this is for if you have the Fanatec wheel. I believe this plugs it into the wheel. We don't need that feature, we just need USB. But I'm going to plug it in anyway so I don't have to take it off later. If I ever do get the Clubsport wheel, which I might. I might actually, or not the Clubsport, but their Porsche wheel, the GT2 wheel or GT3. But now we have a USB cable right here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And let's see here. Installing device drivers. Now it's no doubt not gonna find the drivers, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video right here and go download the drivers and get those installed, just so we don't have to screw with them. The install was a complete breeze. Just downloaded the drivers, installed them, it showed right up. If you look, this is the control panel. I tested the pedals, everything works as expected, but I found something that wasn't expected. See this vibrate button? Yeah, the pedals actually vibrate, and they vibrate pretty hard, so I'm guessing that's for like anti-lock braking and stuff in game. I'm going to see if any of the games actually support that. I bet iRacing does, but I think that's actually really cool. Alright, well let me get this thing all put back into place, hooked up, get the camera mounted, and let's do a round of dirt and evaluate these things. Alright, we got to go set up the pedals. Into options, controls. We just got to change brake. There we go, accelerate. And clutch. Oh, maybe where's clutch at? Clutch. Okay, well I thought there was clutch in this game. There is an iRacing, so we'll try that. So we got brake. So let's do choose preset. Do the Thrustmaster racing wheel. There we go, except for we're going to change accelerate to this guy, brake to this guy. And hell, let's use the clutch as the e-brake. That'll be nice. All right, let's go. Hopefully you guys can see the pedals all right. My knee's probably in the way. I'll scoot the seat back up. All right. See the new pedals are installed? Let's go. All right, here we go. Trying the brake for the first time. Wow. That is something else. Whoa. Take a little getting used to. No, the brake is night and day difference. Now you can trail brake really easily. It's so much easier not to lock up the brakes now. Wow, that is amazing difference. Flat out. Beautiful. Whole different experience, guys. Wow. Now this is how it should feel. I'll tell you right now, if you're playing with anything other than the Thrustmaster or the Fanatec Clubsport pedals, you are not experiencing it. Wow, I'm actually wondering why I didn't do this earlier. This is going to be an absolute game changer. See, I can trail brake in, get a nice easy turn every time. Lift, turn, brake works. The other pedals, it was tricky. There you go. Dude, I have never driven this good before in this game. These pedals give you so much confidence. 251, not the best time. It's 8th place, but you got to remember I wrecked early on and I took my time recovering from it. Had I not had that wreck, that probably would have been the fastest time I ever posted in this game. So let's go ahead and try that one more time, now that I've got a feel for these pedals. The vibration doesn't seem to work in dirt, just so you guys know. Oh, same mistake. Darn it. Alright, last try. Come on. Come on. Gotta keep that nose in. I love the sequential shifter. There we go. Right where I pointed it. Yeah. Going a little wide. Unbelievable difference. You wouldn't think pedals would make that much of a difference, but they absolutely do. Whoa. That brake works phenomenal. Pendulum. There you go. You ride that brake and just turn that car. Oh, damn it. Oh well, I'm gonna keep going. Just came in too hot. That was my fault. Ride the brake. Get it. It's pendulum. Oh, it's nice. Here we go. A little bit better. 6th place. I can tell you right now, night and day difference. The car actually goes where I point it. Now, my problem was I was coming into a lot of those corners just way too hot, so that's just a throttle issue. But the brake was really helping me steer the car, and I wasn't going out into the brush nose first and understeering like I was with the other brakes. So I can tell you right now, that is just an amazing difference. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed yet another video of Barnacules Nerdgasm. I hope this gave you a nerdgasm. We now have Clubsport V2 pedals on the Obodo Revolution. So now we've got the best of Thrustmaster, the best of Fanatec, the best of Obodo, and I'll tell you what, it's a deadly combination. I have no doubt now that I'm going to just become an expert at this game, and I had every doubt in the world before. Hope you guys really enjoyed watching the video. If you did, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm trying to grow my subscriber base and get my channel out there. And I'm trying my damnedest to create entertaining videos that have some kind of value. So spread them around, share them with your friends. Come visit me on Facebook. I talk to all you guys on Facebook. It'd be cool if you're on Facebook. Come like my page. It's Barnacules Nerdgasm. Come and find me. Twitter, same thing. Barnacules Nerdgasm. Come on over there and add up so you can get the tweets for new videos as they go up on Blip TV and YouTube. All right, guys. Well, this is Jerry, aka Barnacules. I'm gonna get some sleep. Signing off.